Disclaimer. The following content contains references to violent crime and crime scenes. Please make your decision about whether to continue watching, understanding this video may be distressing. Let's talk about Eryka Caldwell. At 9 a.m. on May 17th, 2026, only a week after the death of Juniper Blessing, a 41-year-old trans woman was found by local police with multiple stab wounds. The New York Post reported the victim's throat was also slashed upon their arrival, and that her killer sat calmly on the couch while her blood-soaked body, still alive, laid right in front of him. Eryka was unfortunately pronounced dead after unsuccessful attempts by hospital staff to save her life. The man who is being charged with Eryka's murder is 38-year-old Jonathan Fernandez. This man had a very long history of criminal offences, one of them assault. According to Eryka's sister Contessa, when speaking to the New York Post, she mentioned a call to police in 2024 for an assault Fernandez committed against Eryka. It's clear that Eryka and Fernandez had a long history of domestic violence, Eryka being on the victim end. Eventually, she went to a shelter to get away from him. I'm assuming they were living together and that was the only option she had at the time. And because he kept stalking her, she had to then transfer to another shelter, and he found her at the other one as well. Not sure what happened there and what the story behind is, but it's very alarming to hear a violent abuser was able to locate a shelter victim twice. That could have potentially led to Jonathan being able to pull Eryka back into a relationship. A lot of people may not understand, even though the person on the other end has caused you so much harm, there's this sympathetic and loving part in your heart that you allocate for them, and it's compartmentalized. It doesn't mesh with the reality of what that person has done to you. It's a delusional form of love. Eventually, Eryka and Jonathan unfortunately got back together and the abuse was ongoing. So she tolerated it a while longer, but it was again reported by Contessa that Eryka did try to leave him and he would keep coming back into her apartment. Maybe she was too vulnerable to relocate again, and she had to keep dealing with him. And it's sad to think, like, I just can't, I don't know, but she is not the one to blame here. Jonathan was told, hey, this relationship is over, I want to move on with my life, and this man continually ignored her boundaries and forced himself back into her life until eventually he killed her. Reinforce what Contessa is saying, I also found News 12 Brooklyn reported a fellow resident living in the same building as Eryka, as saying this wasn't the first time police were summoned to her home. We're assuming the inference was Fernandez abusing her. So again, it seems like there's a long history of violence in the relationship, and very unlikely that Caldwell was guilty of reverse violence herself, because the New York Post is a heavily conservative news body and they would have 1000% reported if they knew she had a criminal history, which they didn't. So I'm going to take that as evidence enough. Sometimes having prejudiced people against you actually turns them into a tool to help you. And that is the truth. I'm not being sarcastic. Moving on. During the incident, Eryka actually was able to contact police, and when they arrived, it was reported again by the New York Post that she was screaming for help, exclaiming, "He's stabbing me, please hurry up." And police couldn't enter through the front door for some reason, which I have no idea why. It seems like in any other example you hear, they somehow easily enter someone's front door. So I don't know if someone blockaded the front door. I don't know. but they had to go through the air conditioning vent. They unscrewed it. There's that little space, and they entered through there. When they went in, Jonathan was seen sitting very calmly on the couch, with Eryka's bloodied body right in front of him. Reports did not mention he was attempting to help her or stop the blood loss. There was no indication he was willing to help save her life or wanting to either. He seemed pretty proud of what he did and aware of the trouble he was in. The accused has claimed self-defense during court proceedings. While an obvious and repetitive, disgusting sign of a guiltless conscience, it's expected. He wants to escape accountability for the awful crime he committed. But I'm confident evidence is ample and sufficient in arguing against the self-defense claim, just because Eryka's wounds were pretty intense and large in terms of amount of attacks. She was stabbed multiple times and he had attacked her throat as well, which means when you consider the fact Eryka had contacted the police while in dispute and police were actually at the premises while Eryka was screaming for help, John had that entire span of time to get his act together and stop attacking her, but chose to continue anyhow until he killed her. He wouldn't stop until he killed her because that's what his intentions were at the end of the day. On top of Contessa saying that there was a history of domestic violence within their relationship, police being called to the premises on other occasions, the evidence will pile up together and hopefully show Jonathan is trying to escape justice. Eryka herself was a very loving person. She was loved. She had a lot of pride for her heritage as a Black woman, as a trans woman, and was a very empathetic human being. Another thing I really loved about her is that she was such an opposing example to the propaganda painted by the Murdoch press. The comments on social media are very vindictive and often center around the partner didn't know the victim was trans, and it's a method of deflecting the blame onto the victim. It's horrifying. There are people out there who genuinely hold this perspective that trans women deserve to die for not disclosing their trans status. Eryka did not hide her status as a trans woman. She was open about it. It was literally in her bio on Instagram. And on both her Facebook and Instagram, she had pictures of her killer because during their time together, she obviously loved him and wanted to share that with the world. What I would like to focus on at the moment is just how special Eryka was. Eryka was a brilliant person. Contessa, her sister, said that she would always see the best even in the worst of people. People mentioned she was a fantastic cook, and I saw on her Instagram she said she was all about everything sappy and mushy, and I'm just like, she just seemed like such a happy person, and it's so sad. She was 41. She was reaching that point in her life where everything was probably finally starting to settle in, and she had a solid idea of what her identity was and where she wanted to go in life. She'd be in her fucking best years. I can't articulate enough the devastating loss. Eryka was a beautiful, beautiful woman. She was fashionable. She was a food connoisseur. I could just tell I'm a foodie myself, and I know another foodie when I see one. She was obviously someone with a lot of life that, I just know she was funny. I know she was someone who made this world a better place. And Jonathan took her life, and Jonathan took her life and now going to sit there and argue that he was protecting himself instead of taking accountability for her death. And society is going to forget about Eryka's death after a couple of weeks, other than her family and loved ones who have to live with this for the rest of their lives. I don't know how to process that. I'm not there yet. to be able to turn it into anything of value to the rest of you. Eryka deserved a chance to get old. She deserved a chance to be with a partner that genuinely loved her and supported her, someone who appreciated and valued the beauty and immensely positive energy that existed in this woman. She had a family, she had friends, she had goals and aspirations like the rest of us. She could have been your sister, your mother, your baby, your colleague, your friend. Eryka, Bam, you have done more than enough. You have been more than enough for this world, for this universe. Please rest in power and in peace and leave the rest to us. We got you, girl. Hi to Eryka's family also. I send my condolences to you all. I have posted on your social media, on your loving messages, and I also want to verbally tell you I'm sincerely so very sorry for your loss. I hope your grieving process is peaceful and justice is served. If there is anything else you folks need, let me know. I'm also going to post your GoFundMe link down here below. Hopefully, unfortunately, my content isn't very popular, but hopefully, if a few people see it, they can send you some support. You'll send a little bit. I'm sorry I don't have much more, but if you need anything else, you are welcome to contact me anytime. Thank you.